tell sponsors or like a
Yeah.
piece like
Here we go.
yeah.
Brought to you by Bang Energy Drink. What's up, gang? It's Clint. I'm back with another episode of Versus. Man, we're going to have a good show tonight. But first, I need you guys to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. If you haven't, here's a subscribe sound. If you forget to subscribe, today's subjects. What the hell are they talking about? We got Thor Ragnarok versus Thor Dark World. The worst and best Thors. But before we get into that, I need to get my gang in here. That's right, I have a gang now. Boom! I've got Curtis, whose name it says your name is Clint Curtis. I know that not to be true. We're gonna move that over here. Yeah, and then we got Curtis and we got Charlie in the house. How you guys doing, man?
Good, man. I'm good. Glad to be here, dog.
Hell yeah. Don't worry, before it's all over with, we're all going to have names up here on the screen, so everybody's going to know who we all are. I had to do a special 3-screen today because we are lucky to have Charlie from the Then and Now podcast joining us. He just saw Thor Love and Thunder. We all just saw Thor Love and Thunder. In preparation for Thor Love and Thunder, we went back and we watched the worst and best Thors. This is a public opinion. This isn't necessarily facts. We're just throwing that out there. We're going to even talk about the new Thor at some point. But before we get there, we're going to talk about the old Thor. Or maybe we'll just scatter it about. So if you don't want to hear about the new Thor, we'll try not to get too crazy. But you might hear a little bit of Thor talk.
There's nothing to spoil. There's nothing to spoil.
Damn.
Curtis is mad. Curtis is fired up about the new Thor movie. And yeah, so things may come about. You may hear a curse word. If you don't like that, I mean,
I'm sorry.
Too bad. Oh well, but before we get into that, let's talk to the chat really quick. We got James in the house. Yeah.
Mr.
Let's
Simon.
go. It's Grimsley says, "Let's go." Why are you so
Welcome,
low?
Miss Grimsley.
Yeah, put this up here.
Get low.
Curtis looks angry. Angry is an understatement. I talked to Curtis when I got out of the theater. There's a Mexican food restaurant right across the street from the theater, and I called him real quick, but I was starving. I didn't want to miss a second, so I didn't eat any snacks
and I was
at
like,
the movie.
I don't care
And
if you're hungry.
He was going off, and I'm like, dude. I was like, bro, I gotta get in and eat. I'll talk to you in a little bit. He was going off. It's a tragedy. What's up, Clint? Hi guys. So many good people. No spoilers till the end.
Bobby.
Yeah, we got Bobby in the house.
I said that, but yeah, like, kind of. There's not much to spoil. There's not like. Here's a spoiler: you're gonna go watch a Thor movie, and it's not gonna be good.
So,
Damn.
so
Evil villain today.
let's before we get started, this will buy me some time while I make the graphics for you two. I want to hear what Charlie thought about Thor Love and Thunder, and then Curtis, after he's done, we'll have you say what you thought because maybe some of these people didn't catch the last stream. So Charlie, how did you like Thor Love and Thunder? What did you think, man?
I enjoyed it, man. It was a fun watch. I will say, before I say anything negative about the movie, it was a fun watch. I enjoyed watching it the whole way through. That to say, there are a lot of what I believe to be plot holes that for like earlier stuff, and some stuff felt really sporadic and all over the place, but it was fun. I love Christian Bale as Gore. That was dope. Bale killed it. I'm a Bale fan. This is dope. This movie kind of had similar issues to Ragnarok, which I think I was on here a week or so ago, and kind of discussed like they had difficulty with the tonality of the movie, where like at one point you have this very serious storyline, but it felt like they tried to do a fusion dance with that and like a really like goofy summer blockbuster and tried to like make a fusion of the two, but it just made things really inconsistent tonally, where you have like a very serious, dark moment, and then have a joke thrown in like 2 seconds later, and will kind of just like take you out of the mode and the tone. But all in all, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I'd probably see it again, like once it's on streaming services.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going and seeing it again tonight when we get done. I want to reinforce my thoughts of it. What did you think of it? What did you think of it, Curtis? Let's
Oh
let's
god,
we don't need to go full ham on this, but just for the people that weren't listening in the last one, what are your basic thoughts? And then we're gonna go and we're gonna break down Dark World and Ragnarok, and we're gonna put it through our rigorous test to see who the champion is. What did you think of this new Thor: Love and Thunder movie?
I thought it was a travesty, honestly. Like, it was truly disgusting. Again, if you haven't read the source material, it's not going to bother you as much. I'm sure all the critics out there haven't read the source material, and they were still like, it's way too jokey and stuff like that. Like, I was fine in Ragnarok making Thor jokey, like that worked for the Marvel universe, but making him a straight up joke, I do not enjoy. And think about it. Tony Stark got his spectacular goodbye. Okay, Steve Rogers got his spectacular goodbye. Even Black Widow got her spectacular goodbye. Hawkeye can hand the reins to Kate Bishop, and he gets his goodbye. Thor, they're like, we're gonna make you an ass clown, and you're gonna be the shit stain of the Marvel universe, and you don't quite go away, and you're a joke. It was disgusting to me as a Thor fan. Like, it was taking one of the founding Avengers, one of the greatest parts of, and making him as jokey and slapstick as possible, making him a dumbass. And like, a lot of that comedy didn't even land. Like, to me, like it, but it's just. We can go into the themes. We can go into like you're talking about themes of cancer and somebody died of cancer. In these great Thor runs, if you haven't read the comics, like these great Thor runs, Thor has been one of the best comics since the early 2000s, and in Marvel Comics has some of the best storylines. Period. And then they take them all and they cram them all together, and it's just this crap. And they put them all into this one movie. Gore the God Butcher is one of the most, like, he's been around like 10 years. He's only been in like 15 Marvel Comics. Like, it's not, and he's become iconic. And then they put him in here. Christian Bale did amazing at it, but he was in, like, let's be honest, 20 minutes of the movie, 25,
if that.
If
that
you know,
crazy.
When he was on screen, it was amazing, but like, he's relegated to a side character. He's like not even, and it just, Gore the God Butcher deserves more than that. And just, it was just this mess that was like Taika Waititi having people dance around. Like, it just, that's what it was. Like, here's some people dancing around. Tessa Thompson, even too, like, she was in the movie, but like, did she need to be there? Like, Korg got more lines than her. Like, of course, Taika Waititi's character Korg got more lines than her, and was like
Damn.
it just.
You're not
I
wrong.
mean,
I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, he did. That's crazy.
He's got a good point. I'm gonna say what I think about it. I really enjoyed it.
Clint.
Oh, you're
what
not
did you think
done?
about it?
You're not done?
No. But you're the host, so nobody ever asks you. Clint, what did you think about Thor: Love and Thunder?
Oh boy, man. I had a lot of fun. I had a really good time. Me and Cameron went. Cameron from Everything Entertainment News and Talk. We went and saw it, and we both had a lot of fun. We were laughing. It's a movie that, like, dude, I want to eat an edible and then go watch that and giggle my ass off. It's hilarious. It's like a 13-year-old dick and fart joke extravaganza. It's like fun, stupid comedy. And I could tell you, I love watching Taika Waititi do things like What They Do in the Shadows. I think it's brilliant. It's so fucking funny, and it's just fun, and like, he cracks me up. He's amazing. And he can also take some serious themes and then sprinkle them with humor and make them fun. But something about this movie kept taking me out, because it was hilarious, and I was having fun. And everybody knows it's not hard to dangle a shiny thing in front of my face, and I'm like, woo, Clint likes everything. That's why I named the channel that. I have a good time. But I did notice it, and I thought about it, and especially after going back and watching Dark World, which is super dark and very epic theme. It reminds me of all the old, like the 90s epic movies where you'd have like a Hercules movie or Gladiator or some kind of Clash of the Titans thing. That's what it is, and that's what they were going for in Dark World. And then Ragnarok came out, and it turned that. And slowly Thor's evolved, but like Ragnarok still had a taste of that, and then also had the funny stuff. And like I've said before, when you're watching any great movie like Raiders of the Lost Ark or Star Wars, you have serious stakes, you have serious drama, you have adventure and action. And then you also have a little bit of humor sprinkled throughout. And Marvel has been fantastic at making great movies and doing that. And Ragnarok did a fantastic job of doing that. And I was watching that today, and I was like, Ragnarok is perfect. It's so good, and it takes it to the edge where it's almost too much, but then they bring it back. And I think this new Thor is somewhere between Ragnarok and Spaceballs, which is too much. It's like it's so much that it's stupid and doesn't make sense, which is what I'm going for when I'm going to see What We Do in the Shadows. But that's not what I want when I'm watching a Marvel movie. Or I said it earlier, for those of you who weren't watching the other stream, I don't want Taika Waititi doing anything with Star Wars. He's supposed to do a Star Wars movie. I'm terrified now because I've already seen Spaceballs. I don't need Spaceballs. You know what I mean? Like, that's what will happen. He's such a funny. I've seen him in we've all seen him in interviews. He's ridiculous all the time. He doesn't have a filter. And Kevin Feige's job is to keep him reeled in. And I think Taika Waititi was new to this universe and new to the party and hadn't had a hit under his belt as far as Ragnarok goes, so they kept him reeled in. He sprinkled his funny stuff, but it was just enough. But this time around, they're like, dude, you made a hit with Ragnarok, go do it. And so he went full Taika. We don't need full Taika. We need elements of Taika, and then we need a Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. And if you have a Marvel movie with elements of Taika, then you got a hit movie, which is Ragnarok. But if you have Taika, you have What We Do in the Shadows, and that's not a Marvel movie. That's a ridiculous movie, and that's what they did. They made a ridiculous movie out of Love and Thunder that was super entertaining and super fun. But if you take this content seriously, like if you take that universe seriously, I see how you've got a Thor tattoo, don't you, Curtis?
Yeah, I've got a.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're like
I got
serious.
Loki over here.
Yeah, you know. So like to come in and it's like
Loki.
It's like you were saying. It's like you were saying before. Like these guys, they only get so many movies. They only get so many offerings. So how many more Thor movies are we going to get? And you've just made a joke out of the Thor movies. And like you said, like
everybody
Iron Man is
great
done.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
they got their great goodbye. Like spectacular.
Cap got to hang up the shield and pass it on. Tony Stark saved everyone, and like they go up in the Valhalla wall of hero fame, and then you have like Thor now is a comedy. Yeah. So I see how offended you are. It's confusing, and I try to have this conversation when you're watching the movie. You're having so much fun that you don't really think about all these things until your friend is super pissed when you talk to him on the phone, and you're like, oh, I didn't consider that. And then I went and sat there and ate my Mexican food, and then was like, yeah, dude, they made a whole joke out of this thing. And there were some elements in this movie too that felt like the plays that they do with Matt Damon and all that, where it's a ridiculous play. the actual movie felt like that. It's what
Oh god.
yeah, that's how I felt when they introduce Gore's god before he gains any powers and stuff, and I was like, this is like a ridiculous spoof of a god talking to a being, you know, and it's like, and that was real weird. I felt like it was like a weird. It was a weird movie, but on
See,
the other hand, it was
You,
freaking super entertaining and fun. I had a great time and
you
I laughed my ass off. But it was
but you
weird.
but you nailed it earlier. This was not a Marvel movie. This was a parody of a Marvel movie. You
Mhm.
said it earlier,
literally.
and it was like, so yeah, parodies are fun. They're always going to be fun. But it's like, this is not. It's a parody of a Marvel movie. It's not even a Marvel movie. It's just they make Thor a joke. Charlie, go ahead. I'm
See,
sorry.
that very first scene that he brought up, I won't get into details about what it was, but the tone of it, that was the first moment I was like, oh, I see what this is about to be. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, they're gonna make it kind of jokingly like it is, or whatever else, like, but then it's gonna get really dark like it should have. And it was like almost there. It's like the whole movie to me, it's like almost where it needs to be. Like more Bale would have done it, less jokes, like even because they had moments of like brilliant, like some of the shots, like those gore shots from like I think like the first 15 minutes, I was like, oh, he's a badass. If you watch any of the
He
videos we
is.
talk about, my main issue I have with Marvel villains is that they don't keep intimidation factors throughout the entire movie. By the end, they're either like making one-liner jokes or they're like
Mhm.
they're corny to me. Like Ultron started off amazing, like in this introduction
Mhm.
scene, got really childish and whiny by the end. Thanos to me was like maybe the only one that stayed kind of like he had that
Right.
presence, but even then it
Yeah.
got kind of weird. Gore felt like that the whole way through, but they didn't use him enough, and it killed me. I was just like, I wanted more of him. Like he should have been like looming through the whole movie, especially with like
In
the way they changed him around.
That scene in particular was too short. That intro scene.
Mhm.
Everybody knows who knows anything about comics that he gets a necro sword. Okay, so there's the scene leading up to that where there's a god there and it's real campy looking. Like I said, it reminds me of a play of Matt Damon, you know, dressed up as the guy. You know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
that scene should have been stretched out, and I feel like it got rushed, and they wasted Christian Bale on that scene because that's the only time in that movie that Christian Bale wasn't brilliant. It felt fake, like that intro part, that not the part before where you know, but like, I'm trying not to spoil, but there's a part in the beginning, and when you start actually hearing Christian Bale talk,
The
and
origin of Gore,
yeah,
like,
and like
Yeah,
and actually talk to another god, to a god and stuff, and that I was like, this feels really campy and weird and fake. And then once it kicks in, Christian Bale's badass. Like he's fantastic. But that first taste, I was like, what's happening here? Like this guy's, you know, we make
and
jokes about
that's
like he can lose a bunch of weight. He's a brilliant actor, but he really is a good actor. You know, we make
he
jokes
is,
about
yeah.
but any actor that can lose 70 pounds is a brilliant actor. Like all the like
Yep. Oh yeah. He
yeah
lost a lot of weight. Oh yeah.
yeah
That
he's
fucking guy's
awesome.
great. Yeah, but and I know, like, that's the thing. Like, not everybody's going to read the source material. Not everybody's going to go back and read the comics. I highly recommend it, but not everybody's
please.
gonna. Yeah, but like the thing is, like, they miss their mark so much because in the comics, two gods are fighting, and the one that sun god that wins is like, "Help me, please." And Gore's on this planet who's been praying forever, just for rain, he just wants rain. And this guy, a god, is asking him for help, and he's like, it just the rage in his. He's like, "You want help from me? You want help from me?" And he spent his whole life as a devout person, you know. And in this one, it's their god's just like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," like it kind of comes like, yeah, he's a shitty god, yeah, but like it's not like it doesn't signify the rage. And in the comics too, Thor fights Gore for 900 years. Like they're fighting forever.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
not like this one-off thing. I just like it's such a mistreatment of great characters all around. And even the Jane Foster thing, like that's a whole different story arc. And like I
It was
don't
weird and rushed. Like,
yes.
and I don't want to make this. I don't want to sound like, again, I sound like a comic, like me and Curtis, like comic purist. I'm not even saying it needs to be like scene by scene or a copy of the comics.
No.
It doesn't need to
But
be
they
Thor
tried
Dark
that. They
World
tried
Dark.
that.
Right. All you need to do is like help the essence of the source material, and then throw your jokes in there here and there. Because I know you like Thor is more popular with this persona. Like if you would have been like Thor in Norse mythology or even in the comics, it probably wouldn't have been as popular. But you can throw those jokes in or having these moments of like of seriousness and like I can't. I'm trying to imagine Bale, and that's like the scene you depict that you described. Bale in that scene would have been amazing.
He would
He
have
would have been
killed it.
amazing.
And here's the thing too. So the whole movie is basically the Jane Foster becomes Thor story arc, and then they throw in Gore as the villain. Okay, and that's what doesn't make sense to me. That's fine. Follow the Jane story arc, but you could have brought back Malekith or something like that. Gore didn't need to be. The villain was so secondary that like why waste a like a Thanos level villain like he's a defining character villain for Thor, and you waste him on this fucking movie. And like but I mean like you could have thrown in anybody, and like you could have still pulled off the Jane and Thor storyline and had this fun comic book movie that you want to have. Fine. Don't waste like the best of what you got on this. I don't.
No more Null now because the Necro Sword is gone, so we don't have Null anymore. I guess.
Well, yeah, what's the point? Like, if they want to tie it in later, they can't now because like it's just pointless. It's so.
And on top of that, the movie was super fun and entertaining. So it's I'm getting like,
Right.
yeah, I got a nosebleed. I'm like, I don't know whether to be like, I still had a blast. That's what's so confusing with this movie when you try to tell, hey man, was it good? And you're like, yeah,
I have a blast. I have
was-
a blast jerking off to clown porn.
okay.
You know, it's a fucking spectacular time.
Wait a
But I
minute.
never like when I think about it afterwards, like it's just over and done with. Like it's not.
The views of Curtis do not reflect the views of our sponsors.
Right. It was crazy. I said that exact thing. As soon as the movie ended, I texted Curtis like as soon as it ended. I'm like, I'm Jesus Christ, I'm so conflicted. Because I had so much fun, but they did so much wrong at the same time.
It's weird. It's very weird, and I like. I kept like going back and forth in some comments on Facebook today, and like it was good, but you know, and I was like, it's somewhere between Ragnarok and Spaceballs is what was the short answer. But then and then he responded,
Good.
and then I responded, and then I have to go back and amend. Well, by good I mean that blah blah blah, you know, and then but also entertaining, but also making a mockery of this, and it was just like, and I was like, this is a complex issue. This is serious. I mean, forget about the Supreme Court. This is some like real stuff. Like, you know what I mean? No, I was like, dude, this is a complicated thing. Like, this isn't hot or cold. This is a complicated thing because yes, it is a fun, entertaining movie, but it's also could be considered offensive to actual comic fans. And wow.
Avengers fans, man. Like besides Hulk, every other Avenger has gotten his ending. Hulk didn't get his ending because he's never really gotten his beginning in the MCU. Let's be honest. Like he's been sidelined so much, and I don't think that's right either.
That's a universal issue, though. That's universal.
Yeah,
that's a licensing issue. That's
we can kind of get that, but like every other founding Avenger has gotten their goodbye, and Thor gets this. Let's make you dumber. Let's make you stupider, huh?
So I think he's gonna get his in the next one though, because you saw the end credit scene, right? I think that was leaked like before the movie came out. The post credit scene, the first one was. So I think they're gonna do that. I think they're getting ready to push the Young Avengers. So they're gonna push that so heavy because they've built up like a roster of like 7 to 8 like young heroes now. 2 from this movie, and I'm like, this better be so good. If you're gonna push this hard, this better be fucking amazing.
Well, and that's what worries me too. Is like this is the Disneyfication of the Marvel universe. It's not even about older fans who think about Disney in general, like the original Disney. We don't care about older fans. We're grabbing the new ones over and over again, and that's all we're doing. We're grabbing the new ones, and like that's the thing. Like that's fine. I'm 45. Like that's okay. Like it's fine. But like if you're like 13 or 15 and you grew up with those Marvel movies and you love them, and they're already like undercutting you, and they're like, well, we're getting the new fans now. Like screw you, go to hell. Like like it just seems like that's what they're doing, and it's I don't like that
All these
what.
kids, all these kids graduated high school and have gone off to college, and they got other things to do. We need the new game.
Fuck them. Yeah.
Right.
It's
And they
is it
seen
like
it work out badly with Star Wars. Like you literally had a flop of a trilogy so much so that you're gonna like redo that and go in the past that are gonna do like the whole High Republic era now. Like you've seen those mistakes and like you're already trying to fix them with one franchise. Do not fuck this up with your most profitable franchise.
well, we had the adventures of we got the new show, The Adventures of Leia and Lola, only on Disney
God.
Plus, with her and the little robot going on adventures through the woods, with chase scenes with people running really slow, running through the people like boom, bonking their head on tree branches and like, oh man. That's what I thought when it was like her and her little droid. I was like, dude, we're just wait. I'm waiting for the Disney announcement. The Adventures of Layla and Lola, only on Disney
coming.
Plus.
Don't worry.
Like
Don't worry,
coming this fall. It's happening.
And I'm like, do kids watch that though? Like they're making it so much for all these different like franchises. Do kids actually like this?
Well, Curtis has two little kids. Like, would your kids like a show about Princess Leia going on adventures with her robot?
I mean, maybe, but like that's the like
you
when I
force, are like yes.
when I force them to sit down and watch this stuff, but that's the thing, they don't seek it out. I have to like tell them like, hey, check this out, this is cool, and then they might like keep on it, but like it's like they're watching Rainbow High and like my son only watch YouTube. He just watches YouTube like nonstop, like like he doesn't watch like real shows, and I'm like, I just it's a different world. It's a different thing. Like they can consume. We grew up where you had to have IPs and franchises and stuff because this was the stuff that was cool to you, not to everybody, but cool to you, and you had to love it and you had to cherish it and bring in friends that were like, this is a world that they can like look at whatever they want anytime they want. Like it's not, do you own all of the Star Wars? Do you own all of the, you have this Marvel Comics? Do you have this? They can get any Marvel Comics they want on Marvel Unlimited. Well, but like in the end, they can watch whatever they want. They can see whatever they want. They can Google whatever they like. It's everything is open to them, and we don't understand that. Like they don't. I don't. How do you build a fandom with that? Maybe they don't have to. Maybe it's going to be a whole new world, like where it's just like everything is shit. Like we build everything for everybody, so it all sucks. But
what were you saying, Charlie?
I said they're moving away from it. It seems like, and again, I felt old, and I'm 22. I grew up with like all the DC animated
beautiful
series.
baby, you fucking beautiful baby.
I grew up in an era like the animated series where like they had a good combination of like child entertainment, but like adult depth storytelling. But what's happening now that I'm noticing is that they're like, it sounds bad, but they're like dumbifying a lot of like the cartoons here. And you're starting to see a transition where everybody's getting into anime now because there's so many more anime that have like the same level of storytelling and entertainment that I had with like the early DC stuff. But there's so much more of it, and it's an untouched market in the West. So you're seeing all these like Sony and Netflix, they're like producing them and buying them up, and everybody's an anime fan now. And I think that's going to be like Eastern entertainment and animation is going to be this take over.
Dude,
and cartoons are going to have a bad thing.
Arcane was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So good, such a good series.
This is what I don't get because with Thor going away, potentially like Hemsworth might do another one. We don't know, but he's probably gonna. Let's be honest. They want a Thor character. Like this is the perfect time to introduce Beta Ray Bill. Like it was just and like everything that I had in my brain, because it's a CGI character. It's a fucking like you can run him forever. Like it doesn't Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, and they've already shown, like, Natalie Portman's not going to do it again. She might do a one-off or something. It's not going to be forever. She's not going to be the next Thor. It's not going to happen. Like, and this is the perfect time for Beta Ray Bill to take over. And Beta Ray Bill is an established fucking badass character that exists in the Marvel Universe. And then they didn't do anything. They didn't do, like, there's no spoilers there's no spoilers. Hey, it's a Thor movie and it kind of sucks. Like, there you go. There's your spoilers. Like, there's nothing to spoil. Like, I don't like, let's just miss the mark so much.
Well, let's reel it in.
Yeah, all that. We've been on this for like almost an hour now.
A minute, a long time. So we're gonna reel it in and get back on task. So guys, go check out Thor: Love and Thunder. Again, it is a fun movie. But it's
go see Elvis. Go see Elvis.
No, but it's infuriating if you're a comics fan. But if you like fun entertainment, it is a fun movie. And after you do that, come back in the comments. Let us know what you think about that movie, because I'm curious to hear other people's thoughts. But now
and then watch clown porn and tell me which one you like better in the comments.
Go watch it. I'll say that.
Go watch it. It's definitely worth seeing in the theater. It was a fun time. But let's break down these movies, man. We got two movies that are up against each other. I'm gonna let's see here. We're gonna start with Thor: Dark World. Yeah, Thor: Dark World. Boom. What a lovely poster we have there. Thor: Dark World. I'm going to give you the synopsis real quick. Real fast. In ancient times, the gods of Asgard fought and won a war against an evil race known as the Dark Elves. The survivors were neutralized, and their ultimate weapon, the Ether, was buried in a secret location. Hundreds of years later, Jane Foster, played by Natalie Portman, finds the Ether and becomes its host, forcing Thor to bring her to Asgard before Dark Elf Malekith captures her and uses the weapon to destroy the 9 realms, including Earth. That is the synopsis of Thor: Dark World. Of course, we got Chris Hemsworth, we've got Natalie Portman, we got Tom Hiddleston, Stan Lee as a cameo, Kat Dennings, love her, Christopher Eccleston, Jamie Alexander, Sif. I think she would make a good Hera Syndulla. Her face looks like Hera from Rebels. Zachary Levi, Ray Stevenson, Idris Elba, Anthony Hopkins. I always have a hard time with this name. Adewale Inuye. And I mean, the cast is great. Marvel's always great about having Stellan Skarsgård, Rene Russo, Chris Dowd. I mean, there's you can get on IMDb yourself and look at the whole cast. But Benicio del Toro. There's nothing new here. Marvel's got it down. Casting is great. There's a great cast. That's one of the categories. Hey, who had the better cast? And we like to go through and break that down. But the casting is always fantastic with Marvel. The acting is usually pretty great in Marvel. It's all about the storytelling, really. It's what it boils down to. But let's get into the Ragnarok real quick. I want to break this one down. Ragnarok, imprisoned. Oh, I'll give you the Ragnarok graphic. Here we go. Boom. Mm-hmm. Imprisoned on the other side of the universe, the mighty Thor finds himself in a deadly gladiatorial contest that puts him against the Hulk, his former ally and fellow Avenger. Thor's quest for survival leads him in a race against time to prevent the all-powerful Hela from destroying his home world and the Asgardian civilization. I always feel when I say Asgard, I'm like Asgardian. But yeah, both are great movies. Again, cast on this movie's fantastic. A lot of the same people. Standouts are Cate Blanchett. She's just phenomenal. Jeff Goldblum is in this. We got Mark Ruffalo, Carl Urban, Idris Elba, of course, is Heimdall. He's one of my favorites.
Love Idris.
Yeah, he's the best. And, and if you haven't seen the where's my phone? Because I forgot the name of it. I think the movie's called Beast that he's going to be in. It's about
Oh yeah,
being in a safari kind of thing. It was in the trailer, one of the trailers before we saw Love and Thunder, and the last thing you see is him rolling down the hill with a lion, and you hear he punches out he's like Idris Elba punching a lion in the face, and then the screen went black. That was but like we're watching this, we're like, wow, this looks pretty intense. Basically, Jaws in the jungle. Like there's a giant lion after them, and they're stranded in the jungle. I think their car breaks down or something. And yeah, hilarious. Idris Elba punching a lion in the face. We're like, fuck yeah, that's why he should be Bond. Yeah. Dude, if you can punch a lion in the face, you should be James Bond. I'm just saying. Okay. Let's see here. Well, let's go. You know how the game works. We're going to start asking questions. We start with one arm apiece because these guys are jacked. The first question is, which of these two movies had the best story? Which of these two movies had the best story? Ragnarok or Dark World? Ragnarok, you got a stranded Thor. Hela comes back from being imprisoned. We lose Odin dies. Oh,
there's a lot going on with Ragnarok, where almost like with Love and Thunder, it felt like a couple different storylines like crammed into one. But
yeah.
Dark World to me felt more streamlined and had it was more cohesive to me, in my opinion. I probably would say Dark World had the better story per se, like written wise.
And there are no
Yeah,
wrong answers. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got
say.
we got an old foe that is supposed to be dead that buried a ancient weapon that comes back, and Natalie Portman, the Earthling, ends up with it in her. Curtis, which one would you say?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dark World as well. Ragnarok was a weird amalgamation of several storylines, and it may have been more fun, but Dark World's story, like, was a real story. Like when you again, for some reason, this is literally always in the bottom 5 of the Marvel movies, and I don't get why. It's not a spectacular film. It's not like there's a lot of problems with it. Don't get me wrong, but like when you watch the character, we'll talk about that later for the other questions. But yes, Dark World had a better story. It actually had a story that you could follow, and was not an amalgamation of other great Marvel properties.
I don't care if it's an amalgamation or not because I didn't read those books. So I'm like, I don't think about it like that. I'm like, which one was which one took me on a better journey? And to me, I feel like Dark World was a very average story for me. Like,
Right.
it's like, okay, an ancient villain has a weapon. Okay, could have been a crystal or a whatever that, and comes supposed to be dead, but now it's back from the past, and then we're gonna end up on Earth and have a big battle, and then somebody's gonna win, and it's over. It's like to me, it's very formulaic, standard thing. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying, but for me, like the story of Ragnarok, you got you got a prophecy. You've got, a prophecy that gets canceled by Thor, and then another thing comes up, and then then making the prophecy happen saves the day at the end, and you have the message of hey, not only Asgard isn't a place, it's the people, and they are victorious, because they survived, not necessarily because they won. And then also there's the whole hero's journey of not thinking you're strong. Taking also they castrated Thor. They broke his hammer, took it away from him, and he was left without his he's almost like a Superman, limitless strength practically, and he's got a magic hammer that fixes all of his problems all the time for him, and like he's basically invincible, and they took that away from him. So all of a sudden he doesn't have any his powers, and then you have in the clutch moment they have he's got his dad comes back from the dead to tell him, son, it's always been that you've always been the power, and then he comes back victorious, saves the day. I feel like that's a way better story to me. It just as convoluted as it might feel for somebody who's read all the stories that they managed to piece together. That was a much more fun story for me than. And the question isn't which one is more fun, but just looking at the two stories, one seems very, very average. And if you took Thor's name off of both of them, and like this, it just seems more complicated. And they did a weird rope-a-dope a couple of times where you think they're doing one thing and they made it interesting. So I'm gonna pick that.
So
you guys,
really quick, just breaking down just that storyline in general, because I like a lot of what you said, but they're doing, like you said, they're doing like a redemption arc where Thor's finding his inner strength and like finding out that the city is the people, not just the city, or not just the physical construct of the city. But at the same time, you're introducing this character who is not only like an evil character from the past, but this is your older sister who should have a lot of relevance in not only your life, but like the history of Asgard. And what's crazy is that they don't even just say that she did a lot of stuff like it's relevant to just Odin, but she's really relevant into like the creation of Asgard and amassing power. But they don't really like go and develop her almost at all. She's more of like a stereotypical caricature of an evil villain. You don't really get a lot of like you don't get any kind of relationship between her and Thor at all. And this is your older sister. Like you would think that she would feel some type of way about like him and Loki, or they would like want to talk to her. In terms, almost like with the almost spoiled the boys final season, but when you find out you have somebody that's like your close first blood relative that you would want to communicate with them, but they like throw her off to the back burner and they put the whole Ragnarok storyline on hold, then go to the Gladiator planet, and now there's a whole story of like now he has to find himself again, and it's not just him now it's him and Hulk now, and then Valkyrie's fighting. So it's like 3 different characters finding themselves in this whole storyline, and then they fast forward through that and then get back to the Ragnarok thing and like close that really quickly. Like it feels like there are 2 storylines that like really rushed through, and if you would have like done one or the other and flushed it out, I feel like it could have been better. That's my only grievance with it. It's just like a movie and not a comic fan, because then I have a whole different amount of grievances.
Yeah. Well, wait. It's time to score for this. So I said Ragnarok. Curtis, you said Dark World, right?
Yeah, Dark World.
And what's your official vote, Charlie?
Dark World.
Dark World. All right, that's 2 against 1. Dark World gets the point. All right. Oops. Go. Dark World gets the point. And you'll see, Charlie, sometimes the better movie doesn't necessarily win. It's our scoring system is
developed by IBM.
Yeah, it's severely flawed. Yeah, it's powered by dark magic. This is going to be a tough one.
Lay it on me.
Which movie was better looking?
Ooh. Oh, damn.
That's hard. Better camera work, better CGI, better looking film.
It's not that hard for me.
Yeah, I got to say Ragnarok. That movie looked fantastic.
Yeah, sadly, I have to give it to Ragnarok as well.
Especially when you get into like there's some scenes, boom, and he's flying through the air. It like, dude, just epic. I'm going for sure. I got my vote's Ragnarok on that one.
Yeah, Thor: The Dark World tells you it's going to be a dark movie, but it just on screen Ragnarok looked so, and it's the most. I will say it's the most Kirby-esque movie. Like it looked,
Mhm.
it like the most like Kirby's comics. So I'm gonna go Ragnarok as well.
Yeah. Granted, the music added into it too. I'm a big music dude, and that's if I there's anything else about these last two Thor movies, the music has been on point. Like they're setting tones of music beautifully with all the AC/DC and all that stuff. It's been great.
Well, which one do you think looked better?
Oh,
What
Ragnarok look the
looked better?
the recent one or
No.
between.
Out of
No,
Ragnarok and Dark World, which one would you pick for
Oh yeah,
for
Ragnarok
looks?
Ragnarok for sure,
All
for
right,
sure.
well, let's give Ragnarok his points, man.
Yeah,
We gotta give Ragnarok a point.
it hurts me
Uh,
to give that movie points, but I got to give it to it. I got to be unbiased.
yeah, I mean that's what it's all about. Well, since you started going there, I decided we'll just go there now. Who had the better music between Ragnarok and Dark World? Who had the better music?
Oh, I didn't even know this is coming up, guys. I'm just a prophet.
Yeah. Well,
Ragnarok.
I
Ragnarok.
skipped ahead a couple of questions just because you took us right up to the edge. Might as well jump in.
yeah, Ragnarok. Whenever they hit that Led Zeppelin song, it's just. I mean, it's just perfect. It's. I don't know. It
Mhm.
hits.
They
It's.
the Wonder Woman song, it reminds me of that song.
Right.
Yeah, like and anytime that song comes on, I'm just like, yeah. And then but and I even forgot that this song was in Ragnarok. Like, and as soon as that kicked in, yeah, and it's like, woo. Yeah, and I'm like, yes, like there's not a better song for kicking a bunch of people's asses with a hammer or lightning or anything. Like that's
And
just
it's the
badass.
songs. It's literally about it's literally about Vikings, like born in the land of the ice and snow, whether
Right.
invade us from the north. Like it's just literally about Vikings.
Dude, you just went full Jack Black just now when you did that. Invade us from the north. Be you angels? No, nay, we are but men. Rock. Uh,
Oh my god.
you didn't know what you were getting into, Charlie.
I love it. I love the energy. Usually I'm the goofy one. I love it.
All right, we got so Ragnarok gets another point for The Rock.
No pun intended.
Yeah, they put The Rock in. That's why they call it Ragnarok. They just forgot a letter. Okay, well, now that we've gotten through that, film. Okay. This will be tough to answer. Which movie had better acting?
This is a tough one right here.
This is almost. It's almost not fair because you get a lot of the same people
Mm-hmm.
in both movies. But
So here's okay. So here's where I differ with that stuff, and it's not just because I mean y'all have heard me talk about Thor: Dark World before. I think it's underrated, but in this Ragnarok allowed a lot of them to show more comedic range. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's fair. Like, but in the Dark World, they show a lot of emotion, which was like it for some reason emotion is not allowed in Marvel movies. Like we talked about, and I rewatched Endgame before I saw Love and Thunder, and that's me like seeing Hemsworth do like he was like seriously depressed. He lost his mother, his father, his brother, and then half of his civilization, and that's why he got into the point that he was. Like Fat Thor like that. He just kind of gave up, and and they were like, whenever he's like talking to Hulk, and he's like, I killed Thanos. You don't fucking talk to me about Thanos. I killed Thanos, but he still knows it wasn't enough. He didn't save those people. He didn't, you know. And to him, he's like, I'm Thor. I'm supposed to save those people. That's my fucking job. That's why I'm here. And like, it just, I don't know, like Dark World went into those dark places more, and that's the name, you know. And we've got plenty of comedic stuff going on. Otherwise, I thought the acting from a lot of the same people was better in Dark World. Not necessarily the villains, but or whatever. But from the same cast and crew, like was better in Dark World than it was in Ragnarok. That's my opinion.
Charlie, what do you think?
See, this one's very preferential because I understand the difficulty of comedic acting, like timing, selling like a joke, and like this a certain look can like make somebody laugh. So it's different because you have the dichotomy of like something very more serious and monologuish versus like delivery of jokes. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna lean Dark World because of a lot of the stuff that Curtis said, and like there's so much loss there, and I believe you got to see how loss affected Thor a little bit there, like with like the loss of his mother and then Loki dying a lot more. And I enjoyed that. I feel like I enjoyed that a lot more. Well, not a lot more because again, Ragnarok was fun, but I just this is smidgen. It's like right there. It's
But you just
your
don't see
your
that. You don't see that in a lot of Marvel movies. Like
right.
that's why it's the odd man out. Like people don't want to see that. I guess. Like you know.
I'm I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Ragnarok again. Um,
I'm not mad at it.
the
I'm not
the
mad.
the scene just from Anthony Hopkins being in Norway, looking at the ocean and talking to his sons before he dies, and and like just talking about
Beautiful.
that, and which is cheating because Anthony Hopkins is one of the greatest actors of all times. But to have him, proud of Loki, yeah, you put that spell on me. It took me forever to get out of that. Your mother would have been proud. You know what I mean, and all that. Just his talking there. Also, Jeff Goldblum is such a phenomenal actor and persona that he does. It is a persona that now he does in everything. It's kind of like Christopher Walken is very Christopher Walken. Jeff Goldblum is very Jeff Goldblum, but he's fantastic. And I'm looking around. Who could argue with Matt Damon in this movie? I mean, I'm just kidding. No, but Kate Blanchett is one of my favorite actresses. She's
But
like
not,
actors. Excuse
yeah,
me. You can't.
yeah. But don't get into cast too. We're gonna ask that question too.
No, I
Like,
know, but
be
I'm just
careful.
saying, like her acting, her swagger, um, is like
True.
she was awesome. She was awesome. So, I'm gonna pick Ragnarok. It's two against me. Ragnarok's gonna lose anyway. I don't want to. I don't think Ragnarok should go down without a fight. So, the point goes to Dark World. Let's see here. Which is
Tying it up, baby.
tying it up. All right. Let's see. Okay. Um, let's get into a. Which movie made you want to take karate lessons more?
Oh man, I think this goes what I was saying.
Mm.
It's Ragnarok. I think this is skewed. He for sure skewed this because he knows all the action scenes in Ragnarok was fire. This is cheating. This is blasphemous as hell.
You
But
Just
you'd think that, but this is a regular question on the show.
this is a normal question.
This happens every week.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I have to go with Ragnarok because the gladiator. If I get thrown into the pit with Hulk, you better believe I need to know karate. Even though it's not gonna make a difference, I still need to know that.
Yeah, I'd rather know karate than not know karate and be in a gladiator battle. So we're gonna go Ragnarok on this one.
All right. The winner is Ragnarok. Charlie's like, I didn't even want to be here today. I just came on to make sure that Ragnarok does not win. It's Charlie.
If this wins, it may win for me because we'll get into there's one category I'm waiting on, and I'm gonna have to give it to it. You may be surprised.
Which movie is a better Christmas movie?
Wow. You asshole.
Which one's a better Christmas movie?
Oh, it's Ragnarok. Fuck.
What's your reasoning?
It's fun. Like Christmas movies, I'm assuming with Christmas, I'm with my family. So it means I'm gonna have my little cousins with me probably, or like some form of little children. And I'm not gonna expect a little child to sit through Thor Dark World. I'm sorry. It's gonna be a nightmare waiting to happen. But them seeing explosions and bright colors with loud music and Ragnarok, they're gonna sit through that. And I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna be enjoying it with them. So I'm not gonna watch with them and not wanna. It's not Peppa Pig or Coco Melon. I'm not gonna want to gouge my eyes out on some The Boys type stuff.
I'm gonna have to go Ragnarok 2. Yes, it is a more fun movie, and like that's the thing. Like everybody's fine. Like it's just the way life is. With dad dying in movies, like nobody wants to see mom die in movies. Like no, just I don't even want to see it. Like I'm a dad, and I don't even want to see it. Nobody wants to see mom dying in movies. Like so, we'll go Ragnarok.
Ragnarok has mom and die. No, well, dad dies in Ragnarok. Mom dies in Dark World. What a bummer.
But and it's a beautiful way he dies too. He's like, I heard your mother calling to me, and he's like, yeah, fuck this, I don't want to be here. Mom's gone. I'm out here. Like, take it easy. Like, so it's a beautiful way, for Odin to go. Mom gets fucking shanked. Like it's terrible.
Right. That's like I'm fucking tired. I'm exhausted.
Your mom was calling to me with that Valhalla pussy. Like let's.
Wow. You dropped a P word.
I've been sitting here on this rock for like 10 years. Like, come on, I gotta like.
Wow.
Your mom's calling to me. I gotta get it.
Hey man. I'm gonna go with Dark World. Frigga gives some
contrarian.
Gives some books. Gives books to Loki when he was in jail for Christmas. It's present. Things to read. Also,
Thor never gives up on him.
Thor's in a
dude.
She never gives up on him, and Thor's ends up back with his girlfriend. You know what I mean? He like in Ragnarok, he's single. It's like that's not very Christmassy.
When you're talking about character, that's what I mean. Like the things that get lost in this movie, like whenever he's like, Odin's not my father, and she's like, so I'm not your mother. And Loki's like,
but
no, but like, it's like, yeah, boy.
Mama brings different levels of feels, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Ragnarok won that one. Yeah, I was being a contrarian. I don't want to. I don't want to.
I feel like you're fucking with this because you knew you was like he's gonna get the point regardless of what you voted.
Makes it more fun. You gotta sell it. Which one's a better Christmas movie? That is a bullshit question. Absolutely bullshit question. So you gotta sell it. But like, dude, I think Ragnarok would have better action figures than Dark World, and I think of action figures when I think of Christmas. So my vote would be for Ragnarok. That's how you say. You gotta sell it, man.
I've seen the Malekith action figures, and they were not
not sexy. Okay, how about let's see here. Which movie made you hungrier?
Did like a feast in Ragnarok. I remember. I felt like with maybe in Goldblum's character when they were like at this like elitist nobility party and there's like food everywhere, and I was like, grapes look kind of
nice.
Scrumdiddlyumptious, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Scrumptiddlyumptious.
They do have a feast in Dark World when they come back and they're the victors, but then Thor wants to be away from it.
Because Vikings like dogs at the table and food and stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know.
baby.
I don't really. I love my dog, but boy, I'll give you some food. You can't be at the table with me, boy.
What do you think,
Sure.
Curtis?
I mean, they worked up more of an appetite in Ragnarok, So yeah, we'll go Ragnarok.
I'm going Ragnarok too because Ragnarok also because Loki was eating grapes when or it was actually Odin, but it was Loki eating grapes while the play was going on, and I'm with Charlie, dude. I like grapes.
Y'all done?
I was wanting to get scrumdiddly. No, we're not done yet.
Scrumdiddly. I don't know why that's funny.
Scrumdiddly. I'm ready to get scrumdiddly. Let's see here. All right. Okay. Here. Let's see here. Looking at all my good questions. So many good questions. That's not a fair
We done? Did we do the best cast already?
We'll do,
We
we'll
did
do
that
that.
already, didn't we?
We didn't do the best cast. Did we?
I've been waiting on that
We-
one. Did we?
No, we didn't. I think I might have skipped that one.
We did best acting, but we didn't do best
Okay,
cast.
best cast.
Oh yeah,
Best cast.
I've been waiting on this one.
Okay. All right, best cast. And
I
if you
think it was
don't,
the right. So we've already discussed how a lot of them have the same cast, a lot of similar characters, but Ragnarok has one of my wifeys in it, Tessa Thompson. To the day I'm in a casket, I will love to the day I die. That woman is beautiful, and I would contemplate drinking her bathwater. I would not do it, but I'd contemplate it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go Ragnarok just because of Tessa Thompson.
I like her when there's a battle going down, everybody's kicking ass, and then they do they have her just walk up doing a sexy swagger. She should be in a defensive position, but she just walks up all badass and then just starts killing people. I don't know
Into the fight.
when they're on that long bridge. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I'm like, they have her in slow-mo walking just because she looks badass, and I'm like, that's awesome. I'm like, there's no reason for her to be walking like that right now. She should be in a fighting stance, but it looks good. Keep it up, Tessa. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna agree with you. And I have a soft spot in my heart for Kate Blanchett. I always have. Just that alone. Let me say, look, you get Tessa Thompson, Kate Blanchett.
You got Billy Butcher. Billy Butcher's in there, baby.
Billy Butcher's in
Is
there.
he in this?
Yeah, he's the guy that was the executioner for Hela.
Was he? Did he really play the executioner? That's
yeah, but
crazy.
he has a shaved head, and so he looks totally
Right.
different with a shaved head.
Did they make him taller in that? He seemed bigger than he did in the boys though.
He's
He seemed
huge,
massive.
dude. He's huge in the
I didn't
boys.
I didn't think it was that sweet. Well, maybe because Anthony Starr's probably tall as shit too.
Yeah, I think he's 6'3". He's a massive dude. Let me see.
Scorched earth, man.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, he's only 6'1". He looks
I'm taller
big.
than him.
He looks bigger. Well, maybe
Probably have boots.
Kate
or something
Blanchett's real short, maybe, so he just looks huge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, there's not many other standouts over here that I'm seeing. You got.
I just want to put Ruffalo in there.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you got no. That's a good one. You got Ruffalo in there. You got
if you go in
Uh,
with Dark World, you have here. I think I can do this. Yeah, if you do, I mean, if you're looking at Dark World, we got Stellan Skarsgård is badass. This Chris O'Dowd, he's really good, but you've got Benicio del Toro, who's super badass.
yeah, but he was only in the end credits.
It's only for a second.
Yeah.
Is Stellan related to Bill Skarsgård? They got to be related.
They're all there's like 4 or 5 Skarsgårds that are all badass.
Okay, I was like, they're not related. That's insane. That last name is too unique.
Yeah.
And then we look at the Ragnarok cast. We got Tessa Thompson. We got Mark Ruffalo.
Let's be fair. Taika was amazing in Ragnarok, like as Korg.
Hey, he was.
I don't think so in Love and Thunder, but in Ragnarok he was.
Let's not discount Matt Damon.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Sam Neill.
Yeah. So who are we picking?
Wait, Taika Waititi is Korg? I did not know he voiced Korg.
Yeah,
that makes
you
a lot more
know
sense.
that.
It makes a lot more sense why he talks so damn much. That makes so much sense now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Continue,
It's got to be Ragnarok.
I'm going Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's Ragnarok.
Woo! Ragnarok's cleaning shop. Charlie, you got to really get after it, man.
Damn it! I'm gonna just start being biased and just lying from now on.
All right, let's see what it's. The next question is. This is a good one. Which movie holds up? What does that mean? Holds up. I mean, which movie? This question really is better for older movies. Sometimes we're doing 80s movies and it's like, okay, is Back to the Future still makes sense and is entertaining as it used to be back then? Or, like some movies are timeless, and that's probably a better way to put it.
Which one is timeless? Yeah. But I think that's fair because, like, honestly, Thor: The Dark World has been at the bottom of the barrel since it came out, and it might stay that way, but it's going to stay what it is. Whereas I don't like Ragnarok is a very good movie, but it's very stylistic. Even rewatching it, like I was like, it's very stylistic. It's obviously Taika Waititi style. And then watching Love and Thunder, and you see his style on overdrive, you can see it getting tired very quickly. So I don't know if that will hold as well. Like you can see plenty of movies that are like, they're not that good, but they're still your movies. Like they stand on their own. This is not like, it's not. Playing off of Stranger Things. It's not playing off of all of the other things in Thor Dark World. So I don't know. Like I don't know how styles are going to change. I know there's going to be a '90s thing going on soon, but I mean, like Thor Dark World doesn't play off. It plays off the characters and their, for better or worse, interactions. But this one, I could see kids being like, "Oh God, another fucking '80s movie." Like, I don't know.
It's tough because you have like old movies like Spaceballs. That's a ridiculous movie. Does it still hold up? You know what I mean? Is that gonna get tired or not? And I see what you're saying too, though. With a movie like Dark World, that's more like watching Gladiator. Gladiator's never gonna not be awesome. You know what I mean? You can watch Gladiator in 20 years, and of course it's a period movie, but like, I don't know. I'm gonna give this Dark World for me to this. Which one is more timeless because it is less stylized? It's more of a just straightforward movie than a stylized movie.
So I'm probably going to go Ragnarok with this again due to the fact because it's so much of a comedy. I feel like comedy holds up a lot more often unless like your comedy is very like extreme where it's like certain words are taboo now like some like you've seen some comedians where like they were saying some stuff that can't be said that would not be said anywhere near now,
Mhm.
or if the
Right.
joke was like a really niche joke that was vernacular at that time. Excluding those two things, usually comedy movies hold up to me. Like if I can rewatch the Wayne's Brothers scary movies now and still laugh and have fun with them, even though like some of the jokes are kind of aged, they're still funny. Um, Granted, Dark World would probably hold up some too, but I feel like I would be a lot more likely to go back and rewatch Ragnarok than I would rewatch Dark World.
So you got one for Ragnarok. We're gonna clip this. Charlie says he likes Ragnarok better than all the other Thor movies. I'm just kidding.
Oh god,
And
Ethan's gonna be on my ass. If
all
you do
right.
that, Ethan is gonna show that shit on the podcast at some point for the next year.
So points.
So, wait.
So
Well,
you voted for Dark World, and I voted for
I think
Dark World, and he voted for
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Are you switching your vote to Ragnarok?
No. I'm just finalizing my vote. Sorry, I didn't. But when you look at what is more, at least right now, important to the Marvel universe, Dark World was way more important to the Marvel universe than Ragnarok was. Ragnarok might have had a lot of more better qualities, but Dark World, like that led to Endgame and stuff like that. Like it was Ragnarok led to fucking Thor: Love and Thunder. So
But the
there you go.
Professor Hulk,
But
goddamn it,
yeah. So yes, I'm going Dark World.
All right, here's a good one. Who had a better villain?
Let me ask you this: who was the fucking villain in Ragnarok?
Hela.
Now,
Thor.
oh
Thor.
yeah, Hela,
Hela.
Grandmaster, like
He wasn't a villain. He's just kind of doing his thing.
basically
He's an asshole, but he wasn't. Hela's straight up god of death.
people to battle to the death against the Hulk. That's kind of a villain. Like
He
you're
just-
not going to win that fight.
He's just
like, unless you're
profiteering.
Thor.
He's just a profiteering. But Hela is responsible for mass murder of lots of people, and she's all about it.
So, yes, yeah. I mean,
Technically, it was Surtur. Technically,
and yeah, like Surtur destroys the whole fucking like with like there's not as much as like Malekith is a shitty villain and they really do him wrong. In the comics, he's a great villain, and in the movie, it's like I'm gonna be as wooden as possible, and we will fight Thor. Like it's just it's so stupid, but like, and that's the issue with Thor, the Dark World. Everything else to me hit, but the villains were not there. They were almost non-existent, and they took great villains and made them jokey, or not even jokey, like just boring, like that. And so there wasn't any stakes. There wasn't any. There was nothing. Outside of the story that was going on. So, as shitty as a villain as Malekith is, like in Ragnarok, it's like, who's the villain? Yeah, like have we decided? Did we decide? I don't think we did.
I think that's the main issue with Marvel in general. Their villains are usually lackluster.
Yes. And heroes are defined by their villains.
I think that Hela was a perfect villain. Destroyed Thor's hammer, killed a whole bunch of people, was badass doing it, and fearless. I just love Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah, she's kick ass. So my vote is for Ragnarok on that one again.
Question, real quick.
Go for it.
In regards to this, can you tell me what motivations Hela had?
She had a thirst for conquering. Also, she wanted revenge, and since Odin was out of the way, she wanted to get her rightful place. So her motivation, she's pissed off, and she just had a ravenous thirst for conquering. And so now that Odin, who is holding me back, is out of the way and gone, I'm going to take my rightful place, and I'm going to conquer everything. And that's why he locked her up in the first place, is because he got the 9 kingdoms, and they did. That was an interesting part of that story, is that she helped him. She was his tool and weapon, and basically conquered the 9 kingdoms, took everybody's gold, did some underhanded stuff, which governments do, and some of that stuff gets lost in history.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of raping and pillaging that is in the past.
That's
And
all
it's,
of history.
it's well, dude. It's like when that's basically all of history. It's like when people are like, "Oh, Christopher Columbus was a terrible person. We shouldn't do Columbus Day." And I'm like, dude, every conqueror, every single person back then was doing shit
all
like
of
that.
history.
That's history. Like, you know what I mean? Like in every culture forever has been raping, killing, enslaving, everything. You know what I mean? For thousands and thousands and thousands of years, there's been terrible things, and this is no in this movie is no different. They're like, oh, we're painting this picture of a beautiful, civilized, airbrushed situation, but if you peel back the ceiling and look at what really happened to get us to this empire, you'll see that a whole bunch of terrible shit is what the foundation of this. And she's like, dude, I was there, and I still want to keep doing what I used to do. I should be in charge. I'm not scared to kill who I need to get to where we are. And it's weird. Human civilization is weird. This is Asgardian civilization we're talking about, but it's a parallel, and it's crazy. And even today, that you get looked at like a conspiracy theorist and weirdo, but you have like governments doing crazy CIA stuff and all kinds of weird spy shit where they're taking people out and all that, and it's always been like that. It's wild.
Cut the Clint with a black bag over his head.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you got to remember: the winners write the history. Like it's not, like the winners write the history, and Odin wrote his own history. Like, damn. So yeah, okay. I guess I can go with Hela. I mean, like Malekith was just such a weak villain, and Hela, although she's much different from the comics, I was able to roll with it for the movie. Yep, I'm gonna go Ragnarok. Yep.
Yeah, I'll go Ragnarok just because Hela was fine as hell. Boy.
Yeah, she's awesome, and that dark elf.
And when she's like, "I'm getting serious," like, and she pulls out her
Oh,
horns
that
and
killed me. I melted.
Yeah.
I melted. She did this shit. I was like, oh my god. Stab me, please.
Yeah.
Run me through.
All right, another point for Ragnarok.
God damn, is that much of an ass woman?
Charlie, I didn't know you loved Ragnarok this much.
I didn't know either. I go by Planet Hope comic just to feel better about myself now.
Oh boy. Okay, let's see here. Which movie deserves a sequel? Well,
Wow.
Kind of got that, didn't we?
We got that we're gonna get rid of this question. That does not relevant. Here, this might be good. Who had a more tragic life? Does this one make sense for this movie?
God damn it! You keep giving me this Ragnarok question, so yeah.
Here's one. Which one is the best date movie? Which one is a better date movie?
This depends.
This one always depends, and everybody's like, "Ah, you're making excuses." And no, like that's a big thing.
Right.
I'm gonna have to say Dark World, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be checking out Tessa Thompson and Kate Blanchett the whole time, um, and also super entertained because it's such a fun movie. And I feel like Dark World, I've seen it plenty of times, and it's also a more laid back movie. There's not as many shiny things, and I think I could pay more attention to my date. And I think that's on a date movie. I don't want to be looking up at the screen, and I'm half worried about the date. I think a super super entertaining movie like Ragnarok is gonna make me ignore my date because I'll be worried about that, not that. And yeah. So that's my vote. Dark World.
So for me,
Remember, all bets. I mean, any answer makes sense if you're like, hey,
As long
I
as
don't,
you can defend it.
yeah, I don't like. I lost my dad 10 years ago. I feel like seeing Odin pass is going to make me bum me out, and then I'm going to have a terrible date. So I'll pick Dark World. You know what I mean? That any whatever, dude. Just sell it. Whatever you got. So it's what were you saying, Charlie?
so I have there for me there are two kind of dates I have. There are the women that this is the first date where you don't know if she's gonna be someone you want to see multiple times or just this one time. So if that's the case, it's Ragnarok due to the fact I'm going to try to have a date to where I'm going to have fun and enjoy myself regardless of how bad the date actually goes. Dark World is a movie I'm taking with the girl that we've gone on a couple dates. We've been together for a minute, so I'm not really trying to watch the movie. I'm trying to engage with her 9 times out of 10, especially when it's slow. So that's it. That depends. This is tough. This is a tough one. But first date movie, I'm probably going to go Ragnarok, just because I don't know if I'm gonna like her or not.
So we've kind of like we've had this argument before, and it's like, and we've even gone further, like how long you been with this girl? You in a relationship? With this girl? So for it's kind of like I don't know 3 or 4 or so date movie. Like it's kind of where we settled. Like but it's whatever you want, buddy. But like because first date movies could be anything. Like they could be like I fucking hate this,
Mm,
and so like you kind of know the person, you kind of like but you're not sure if like it's gonna be like in a relationship or whatever. I'm still
just
gonna
three
go
or four.
Dark World.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 dates, and like the
Okay.
person enough to be like, all right, like they're like I'm gonna spend more money on them if they want me to, like
That's Dark
um
World.
I,
That's Dark World.
I could
yeah. Like
I could also flip over to Ragnarok and think that like if I'm on a date, I want us to laugh a lot together and have a really good time. And watching a serious movie isn't going to do that. And laughing my ass off with somebody like Cameron and I yesterday, we were both cracking up the whole movie. It's like you go on a date, you want to have fun. I could also sell Ragnarok that way, but I'm gonna go Dark World this time,
yeah,
just because again
I'm glad that you and Cameron had a spectacular date.
we
That
had a
makes me so happy.
great date yesterday.
Um,
Uh,
but I'm still gonna go
Ugh.
Dark World.
Dark World.
But because like when his mama dies and stuff like that, and like I'm gonna cheer, like I'm just gonna cheer up. That's just sorry, I'm just gonna, and like she might see that and be like, oh.
He's sensitive. I love him.
Dude, Curtis,
Damn, Ragnarok.
you're
Still
so
do.
sensitive. I also really want
I
Dark
still
World
do.
to get
Like
some more
I
points.
straight up still do. Like that those scenes. Like I got straight up tear up. Like God, just and it like and when it's Loki, whenever he's like, Loki, you ain't gonna put it on the show for me, and it clicks, and then like his room's destroyed and demolished. He's like, it's just great. Like he's trying to hide. I don't care about my mom. Whatever. She's not even my real mom. Whatever. But then he like clicks out of it, and it's like his room's destroyed, and he's just like laying up against the wall, and he's like, and he's like, I don't offer you anything but vengeance. And Loki's like, let's fucking do this.
What was the last movie you guys cried in?
Uh-oh. Back it up.
I
Last
mean, this
movie,
kind of leads into that, I guess.
I mean, I just cried watching Thor: Dark World again. So, like, once you have kids, you cry. Like, I can see a fucking fabric softener commercial and you cry. Like, having kids makes life different. It's not like the same thing. Like, but like, yeah. I mean, I just watched. I didn't cry during Love and Thunder, but yeah, well, I rewatching Dark World. I cried again a little bit. Like,
I saw something the other day that I cried in. I don't remember. Go. What was your last movie you cried in, Charlie?
Marley and Me. Owen Wilson, Marley and Me was the last movie I ever cried in. And I've watched a lot of movies since then. I've been movies where like I've been on the precipice of it, but nothing's gotten that single Cherokee tear out of my eye.
have some crap out some kids, Charlie, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, look at that! She dropped her blah blah blah," and we're like, "Oh my god, I love everything. Why does the world have to be so terrible?" Ah!
Do not wish that on me anytime soon. Give me, I need a minute.
I don't have to wish nothing on you, brother. Like, it's just kind of,
Guys in the
and
chat.
I love.
When was the last time you cried in a movie? What movie was it?
I love horror movies, but I can't watch ones where they hurt kids. I just can't watch. I just can't do it anymore. Like, it's just changing. You know, like,
You got to go watch Black Phone.
Oh, you Black Phone.
I do want to see Black Phone. Like, I do, but like, it's just like a lot of things. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Fucking weird.
I saw that a couple days ago. You got to see that, Curtis.
You did see it? You did?
See, for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, I put it at a 9. It's at an 8 for me, but I had like some high school kids in my theater that were cutting up and doing some annoying shit, so I couldn't stay fully immersed. I feel like if I was fully immersed, it'd be like a 9 for me. Ethan Hawke killed it.
So, would you say go see Thor: Love and Thunder or go see Black Phone?
Black Phone, if you have to make a decision, Black Phone.
Yeah, Good. That's what I was thinking, and yeah, I do want to go see it. But going to see it by yourself.
Mel said the first movie that made me cry was Mighty
Joe Young. Oh. First movie that made me cry that I remember was The Champ. Old fucking movie.
I could tell you a movie that made me cry was The Green Mile.
Oh God,
John Coffey. It's just like, oh my God, he's fucking.
See, I've met him in real life before. I met him when I was younger.
Oh really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, my uncle, because my uncle's he used to be in the military. He was like a bodybuilder, 6'6", 300 pounds, 10% body fat. So he like bodyguard for a lot of different people out here, and he met Michael Clark Duncan at a show, whatever. And they went to the bar to drink. And my uncle was like, "Hey, I bring your asses down here." I'm like maybe like 8 or 7, so I'm like, in comparison to me, I'm maybe like 5.
Yeah.
5 so this man picks me up and it's like, "Hey, boy," I'm like, "Oh my God, you're terrifying, but I love you so much."
That's awesome.
I think I've seen it. It was amazing. He was a beautiful man. He was a gentle giant.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
R.I.P.
Yeah, very much so, man. Way too young.
I was trying to think of other. There's so many good movies out there. The other day I was sitting on my floor, and I don't know if it was a TV show or a movie, but I did tear up, and I think I was in both eyes too. I was like, I don't know what it was though. I was thinking it's hard to keep track now because I watch so much stuff.
I think The Color Purple did it for me for my first one when I was little.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
There's so many. Well, let's.
Rudy got me. Rudy got me a lot whenever I was like at that age where it's like you can't cry. You know, it was that was the age like you're like a teenager or something like you can't cry. But then Rudy comes on, and you're like, oh God damn it!
I bet I didn't mean to go on a huge tangent.
It's a good, excellent question. Anything that makes me think back about movies. Let's see. We've hit so many. We've had the best story, cast, better looking film, musical score, acting, characters. We didn't do characters. We skipped characters. Which one had the best characters? Now this is a question where they're this is cheating because it's the same fucking characters. And then also there's more characters in Ragnarok, like because you have the gladiator scene.
There are, but I mean like. To me, Ragnarok's going to win this one, but it's not cheating though because like you got that's I mean outside of the main characters, that's what I mean. In Thor Dark World, it gets forgotten, but the main characters did such a great job. But outside of that, like it just
And
like so the Malekith and all basically any dark elf, like just they just were throwaway characters. They were just placeholders, and like even Darcy and them, like they just were kind of there, in that movie, and it's like the Thor Ragnarok showed you don't even need to have them there. Like why you don't like they if they don't need to be there, you don't need to put them there, and shit,
Thor
I mean,
Ragnarok's got Korg. Again, Hela was a badass character. Grandmaster
Yep.
was a badass character. Valkyrie was a badass character. Carl Urban
even Executioner,
is the Executioner was an awesome character. You
I
got
got
all
these from Texas.
Right. I mean, yeah, you got Mark Ruffalo Hulk, Tessa
Yeah.
Thompson, Tessa Thompson,
Tessa Thompson.
again.
Tessa
I feel like
Thompson.
I know
yeah.
you too. She's so
It's,
awesome.
it's tough, man. It's tough.
Who else? Tessa Thompson is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can't compete with that, man.
Tessa Thompson is another one.
Oh man, I love it to death.
And that's the thing. Imagine if they had forced in Natalie Portman into Ragnarok. Imagine if they had forced in Darcy into Ragnarok. Like it's like some of these things, like they didn't need to be there. Like you can, just let it go. Like I know they're characters in the past, but like the story has moved on significantly. If you kept up with the Marvel universe, like you can kind of let that shit go, and like I don't know, like they forced.
Put them in something else like WandaVision. Like Darcy did great in WandaVision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. They're still good characters. Doesn't mean that, but it's like they just don't fit. So why do you got to force them in? Like, and it basically the humans fucking saved Thor in Dark World. But like oh, you need these fucking things that Selvig created, and like okay, like and he goes and he fights, and like it was just like the villains were the worst part. The like the non-main characters, the main characters made a great film. Like the main characters had a great film with a great story. So but everybody else was like, hey, look, we're in the movie too, and it was like, oh fuck yeah, you are. All right, cram it in there. So yes, Ragnarok.
All right. Well, let's give the point to Ragnarok.
Damn it!
Damn it, Ragnarok doesn't even need more points. Oh, I almost forgot Tessa Thompson.
Can't forget her.
Was she in that?
Can't forget Tessa Thompson.
So Charlie, you're gonna have to be back whenever we do MIB International, I guess, versus something.
You know what? As much as I love her, I've been avoiding that. I've been avoiding that so much.
Yeah, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen
it yet, but we're gonna force ourselves to see it. We'll do that.
You know what? I'll do it for you guys.
One time we did Men in Black. Did we do that? Men in Black versus the rest RIPD?
We did the original Great Men in Black versus RIPD, and it was like
it's the same movie.
See,
but it wasn't.
Reynolds. I enjoyed RIPD a little bit. I like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, but compared to the original Men in Black, it just it's
nothing.
Demolition
Prime
Derby.
Will Smith against anything modern day. I don't know.
How about Chris Rock? Oh, sorry, did I do that? Sorry.
Hey, let's just say Prime Will Smith hits different.
Yeah, wouldn't have done that.
Sorry, I had to go there. Okay, here's the and this is the final question. If you're on a flight and they only had one movie, which movie would you pick for your flight? Boom. Which movie would you pick for a flight?
Hopefully this means I have money now, because I've never been on a flight with movies before. So first off, me with money, you're doing something good for yourself.
Like, I like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Dark World is 1 hour and 52 minutes, and Ragnarok is 2 hours and 10 minutes. We gotta have all the factors.
Right. It'll get me through, depending on where I'm going, a good bit of the flight.
I'm going to Ragnarok. unless I'm already like if it's a long flight and I'm already drunk, I'm gonna be like, I want to cry about my mama, put it on Dark World. But like,
Because I like to sleep, so I want to go to bed.
yeah, Ragnarok.
Yeah, I have to go Ragnarok on this. So another point for Ragnarok. Ragnarok just, Curtis, the whole idea of this was to say, hey, people call Dark World the worst Marvel movie.
One of the worst.
Yeah,
one of the worst.
and then they call Ragnarok one of the best. So we wanted to say, hey, the worst Marvel movie versus, or the worst Thor movie versus the best Thor movie. And maybe flip those ideas, maybe prove that wrong. But
head to head, that's you're right. You're right, Clint. That was kind of the idea. Like, and head to head, like, yeah, Ragnarok wins. Like, I probably would have said that from the get go, but I'm just saying, like, honestly, like, I'm glad we got to talk about Ragnarok, and hopefully people will look back at it again and be like, you know what, like, it's really, like, just watch it again. Like, it's not that fucking bad. Like, everybody remembers it. Like, this came out like right
or
before
Dark
Avengers.
World?
I'm sorry, Dark World. Thank
Okay.
you. It's not this fucking terrible movie. It's not this like really bad thing. It's like it's not the best thing in the world. Like it was. I guess it was Marvel hit after hit after hit, and then Ragnarok came, and it's a dark movie. That's the idea. And like even
you're
the
talking
tone.
about Dark World again, right?
Yeah, Dark World.
You said Ragnarok again.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Dark World is a dark movie. Like the tone is dark. The imagery is dark. Like it's supposed to bring. And I think that's the thing too. Like after that Ragnarok was like, well, we got to uptone this, like, because Dark World didn't work, and then after Ragnarok, they were like, well, let's go full blast, and they made Love and Thunder, and it was just like, okay, never mind then. Like, but just like it's not like yeah, it wasn't. I didn't think it was going to win, but it's not as bad of a movie as everybody thinks. Please give it another chance. It's free on Disney Plus. You got Disney Plus. I know all people are just putting on Cinderella and shit 24/7. Put on Dark World once for like 2 hours and just like give it another shot. It's good. Like it's a damn good movie. Watch the actual emotion that they show is rewarding. Like it's okay, Taika Waititi, to show true human emotion. That's why we identify with characters. That's why we like characters. Because we feel emotions, Taika, and you should too. Like, you don't have to joke past it. Real things happen in the world. Just let them feel the emotions.
Well, the director for Dark World is Alan Taylor, who directed Terminator Genesis. So, it's got to be good, Curtis.
Genesis is pretty good. Like it's again, it's not fucking spectacular. It's not, but I'm just like
the Many Saints of Newark also. I'm looking at Kill the Poor. I don't know a lot of these movies. It's interesting because like Kevin Feige will pick up and coming directors that he can tell are good storytellers and aren't necessarily like Spielberg. You know what I mean? But it's like and he catches the talent on the way up, and usually they blow up doing Marvel movies, and I think that's cool.
I really wanted to grab I can't remember her name off the top of my head. The woman that did the recent Candyman movie that she directed it.
Oh yeah, she killed it on that movie.
Yeah,
like she did really good. That movie was fantastic. I heard something. I don't remember if they said that that's her first big movie.
Yeah, it was
or anything, but like she's definitely an up and comer. But I remember hearing something about her. I'm gonna look her up, and then like
Nia DaCosta. That's what her name is.
Yeah,
Nia DaCosta.
And like her resume before that is not that long. You know what I mean? And I was impressed because I really noticed in that movie visuals, the camera angles. Just there's a lot of creative filmmaking. Like that was an interesting movie. Was it the greatest movie ever? It was pretty good. I mean, it was a cool horror remake, kind of. Wasn't really a remake. It was kind of an extension of, but I noticed that I was like, whoever made this movie, sitting in the theater, I actually was like, whoever made this, is a creative person.
Right.
And I didn't quite out loud say, man, I need to look this person up and follow them and keep an eye on write their name down because they're going places. But I thought that, it kind of, just because it you notice. So if
biggest thing, all those mirror shots were beautiful. Like,
yeah,
even the intro where the city's like Chicago's like upside down, and then all the mirror shots, and it was dope. It was dope.
there was some. I feel like there was some stuff like taken off like the back of a car or something where the image flipped. I don't know if it was like looking up at the sky or something, but it was something really cool. But I was like, wow, how did they do that? Yeah,
the word is requel. I didn't know that was a real word, but that it makes perfect sense. Requel.
A requel.
It's like a reboot sequel.
Yeah,
requel.
It's a requel. That sounds like a Scooby-Doo word.
Oh, yeah,
It's a requel. Like, you need to cut that out, Scoob. Requel.
Have you not done voice acting before? Like, animated voice acting?
Yeah, well, no, I don't do voice acting. I do serious stuff. I went and auditioned for a video game where I was supposed to be for a pirate, kind of almost like a World of Warcraft thing, but for like tweens, younger age. And so I got my best Statham impersonation down and went in to go be a pirate, right? And then they were like, "Hey, while we got you here, Clint, we have a similar thing, but it's more of a sci-fi thing." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." And they're like, would you like to audition for that too? There's a here, we just want you to read this. I'm going to give you a script. We want you to do a reptilian species. These are bad guys, and just read this, and maybe something will work out. And you can do that too, or maybe that, or all right, cool. And I'm like,
and Clint was like, "Oh, hello. Would you like to join my new record?"
No. And so I get this thing, and it's like, you've stopped me for it. Like, it's a villain script for a kid thing, and I'm like, and I go straight to Cobra Commander. I didn't mean to, but it's a reptilian species, and I'm like, you've double-crossed me for the last time. But next thing you know, I'm like, get back, you fool, you bumbling buffoon. And then I'm like, hey, thanks, Clint, good to see you. And then I get in my car. I'm like, stupid, I totally did Cobra Commander. I was super embarrassed. I was like, those guys are laughing at me right now. I'm in traffic thinking, those guys are I'm never doing character voiceover again. But like, yeah, this is my big chance, and I went Cobra Commander. Damn it.
Dude, you'd be amazing at it. Plus, you just like all my favorite voice actors were like Tara Strong, Chris Summers. Like, you fit that mold of a personality type.
Oh, I mean, I would love it. I just haven't gotten to do it. But yeah, I would totally love
what
that.
What else
like,
is a fucking reptilian species supposed to sound like?
Exactly. Like, but in my mind, it's because like
they hiss. All reptiles hiss. Like
the Cobra Commander. Like, come on now.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. Yes,
I'll do voiceover and I'll be like, HEB select ingredient products are made with hundreds of synthetic whatever. And like I'm used to doing that only at HEB. And like I can do that kind of voiceover, but because I've read a lot of stuff like that, the next big thing is here. Like, that's not a problem. But like when it's like when you're acting, now I can get into character and be like, okay, I'm a landlord. Hey, I didn't get your rent check, and get into character. And I've done acting classes and stuff like that. But when all of a sudden I'm like prepped to be, I'm prepped mentally to be a pirate, and you're like telling me to pull a reptile out of my butt.
Be a lizard, man.
I gotta pull a reptile out of my butt. All of a sudden, it just completely threw me off, and I'm like, and I'm not secure enough.
I'm a lizard pirate. Hello, do you have your rent? I'm the lizard pirate king. Give me rent.
Oh man,
and I shall not do whatever lizards do to you.
Oh man.
I
So
came looking for booty.
lizard pirate looking for booty. So I just got insecure is basically it. I just hadn't done voiceover character stuff enough to not be insecure about it. But if I had a little experience, I think I might like to do that. So anybody making a cartoon, hey, I'm right here. And man, it's time to announce we just went off on a long thing there, but like it's time to announce the winner, Scoop.
Drum roll, please.
All right. All right. Winner time. The winner of today's competition. The greatest Thor movie ever. Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Yeah, that's right, folks. Ragnarok is the champion. Is the champion. Woo! If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. And guys, we want to thank you guys for hanging out. The winner is Dark World, obviously. Come on, Mel. If anybody just tuned in, look at those points. Yikes.
I'm miserable.
Yeah, I know, Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. We're gonna have to go tell everyone that you helped to decide that Ragnarok is the greatest Thor movie ever. And speaking of calling you out for this on your podcast, why don't you tell everybody at home about your podcast? Then and Now podcast. Tell them about it, guys at home. You need to check out. Which way is it? You need to check out his podcast because they cover some great stuff and it's super entertaining. And tell them about it. I usually.
Yes. So we're essentially again 3 generations of nerddom. We have our older, middle, and me being the youngest. We covered we did a lot of comic stuff early on, but now we've transitioned and did a lot of movies and animated series stuff. We do a lot of reviews. We did some really dope interviews that I'm really blessed to say I got to talk to some really special people. And then I have my own little mini series of video essays, which new one should be coming out tonight or tomorrow. I'm doing a Django video essay that I'm really proud of as a passion project of mine. And I really put my all into that video, so I can't wait to get that out there. So you guys would support these guys first and foremost, and then come take a look at us when you're done. I'd appreciate it.
You heard it here, guys. Go check out, support Charlie. Go subscribe to his page, and for real, keep your eyes open for that Django video. I may or may not have got a taste of it, and what I saw was fantastic. So I'm excited to see the whole thing. And Charlie, dude, you're a lot of cool guys. I have a lot of cool friends out there all over the place. Some of them are better speakers than others. You're just a likable, well-spoken human being, and and you're wise beyond your years. You're half our age. We're a bunch of old farts, dude, and you're way smarter than we are. Me and Curtis, a couple dummies up here, man. You're running this show. Like you're great, dude. And it's I'm glad you have your own show that you're doing and kicking ass out there. And I'd be proud to have you full time. But I'm glad. I'm glad anytime you want to be on any of our shows, we're always happy to have you, dude. You're always fun, is what I'm trying to say. I'm being a little over the top about it, but I'm just saying, dude, you're great. You're great, dude, and super likable and just a great guy. So please, anytime you want to hop on with us, you're like, hey man, I know those movies. I'm not doing anything later. You want to jump on with us? Just shoot us a message, and I'm sure the people at home feel the same way. And if you have any suggestions, or you have any suggestions of movies that we should team up against each other, let us know. Message me. You can hit me up. I'm the OG Clint Baker on all my social medias. Speaking of which, what's your Charlie? What's your social media handle? I apologize for not having it on the screen this time around.
Oh no, you're good. We're mostly like the Then and Now podcast on pretty much just about everything: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. If it's not the Then and Now podcast, it's like the Then and Now pod. It's one or the other. Like you'll see it. we have our logo done, so you'll see it everywhere.
There you go. Do a Google search for that, and you'll find it, and you can hit them up. And Curtis, tell them about Bakertown.
Bakertown on YouTube. Check it out. We haven't done anything in a while. I'm rebuilding my fence, so I haven't put anything up there. Charlie, you're in the South. Where do you live?
South Georgia right now.
South Georgia. So I got to fly to South Georgia to hug you. I just want to hug you so much. Come on, man. I just want to hug you.
I'm down, man. I love hugs, bro. Me, but Clint, you don't know, behind the scenes, me and Curtis have gotten really close. This is my dog.
Dude, Curtis is badass.
Like, literally, he texted me randomly one day, like, bro, please tell me you've seen this. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? This is Curtis. I'm like, oh yeah, bro. I'm like, I'm gonna go see this movie. And it's literally the moment the credits rolled on Ragnarok, I'm immediately like, Curtis, what the fuck? So I love meeting new people that are just dope, not only creators, just people in general. And again, if you guys ever want to collab on anything in the future, just let me know. I'm down for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Dude,
thanks so much, man.
That's a fun thing, dude. For me, like since the pandemic started, I started doing video stuff, and then got into it. First, I started on just Facebook lives, but then worked my way into YouTube, and then met the small screen guys, and met met so many people through YouTube that it's really cool. And I'm meeting new people every day, and it's really cool, and it's really interesting that we're living in a time right now where it's like we're across the country. Me and Curtis are across the state, and you're in Georgia, and it's like, but we're all sitting here having conversations, having fun, and then we got people at home that are commenting, and it's like, man, for
good community, man.
Yeah, for being around before the internet even existed, it's really interesting to see how connected we all are and what's coming of it. I love it, and I think it's really cool. And I'm glad we're able to sit here and play a silly game where we're putting movies up against each other. And even though one film isn't necessarily better than the other, it's all a point of view. We got to be entertained, and hopefully entertain some people out there for a little bit. So, you guys, we're here every Friday, at 8:00 Central Standard Time. 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. And again, message us if you got any movies you want us to do. I saw Annihilation up there versus Lone Survivor. Mel, we're working on it. I think Annihilation, and there was another one that we were talking about.
Arrival.
The Arrival. That was a possible one.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
No. Annihilation.
Oh,
Annihilation.
Okay.
Is that the one with? Is that Natalie
We
Portman?
could.
Please don't.
We could do Mortal Kombat Annihilation versus Doom Annihilation.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
They both suck.
Yeah. that'd be a fun one.
Annihilation versus Annihilation. Wow.
Or Doom, whatever the new Doom is, whatever. I think it's Annihilation.
Annihilation leading us to our doom.
Well, awesome, man. Well, let's I'm gonna shut it down, and if you guys I'm just gonna cut the stream, so if you guys y'all don't have to hang up yet, you guys on the show, but you guys at home, you have a great night. We're gonna see you soon, so thanks again, and bye-bye.